Thank you for joining me. I'm Hannah Hayes, and today I'll share with you how to future-proof your business, elevate your showroom experience, and explode your sales with a new, innovative, industry-transforming way to sell cars. Before we dive into the details, let's break the ice. What was your first car? Feel free to share in the chat. It's a unique approach accessible to most car dealerships that puts the revolutionary technology of virtual reality at the center of your selling process. With VR, your car inventory becomes infinite. Your dealership becomes an attraction. Your customer experience sees sales soar. VR is already taking the car industry by storm on a global huge scale. The big guns have done all the super expensive heavy lifting and rigorous testing, so smaller dealerships don't have to. And wow, just take a look at some of the results. Audi experienced a staggering 40% boost in sales and a 95% increase in brand perception, thanks to their innovative VR pre-sales experience. Ford achieved a remarkable 50% reduction in product development time and saved 35% in prototyping expenses, revolutionizing their time to market and cost efficiency. BMW achieved a 30% increase in sales and 20% rise in customer retention by providing immersive VR vehicle customization experiences. So, what do these case studies tell us? By embracing this innovative technology, these car brand giants were able to revolutionize their customer experiences, streamline product development, and achieve remarkable sales growth. And today's short presentation is all about how dealerships like you can begin to integrate VR into your dealership to experience the same improvements and efficiencies in your business. If you are on this training right now, you are struggling with limited car inventory. It's the age-old balancing act of trying to have enough cars to entice customers in without having a ton of wasted money burning holes through your dealership floor and pocket. Customer retention. When customers walk through the door, you know you are not giving them the most exciting, captivating experience. You and your salespeople try your best, but it feels like you're always fighting a losing battle. Inability to test drive. It's hard to get a customer to truly experience the vehicle firsthand if you don't have it on site and can't offer a test drive. You know, as much as the next person, it's the experience of the drive that truly sells a car. Have you heard about virtual test drives before? Please type yes or no in the chat. Tedious paperwork for car configurations. You hate it. Your customers hate it. The time-consuming and overwhelming amounts of paperwork are enough to deter anyone from completing their purchase. The good news is that all of that stops today. You no longer have to feel like you're fighting an uphill battle every day in dealership. You're 5 steps behind the curve, no matter how much you do. You're basically begging customers to give you a sale. You've lost the joy of being in car sales and running a business. Because in this training, you'll learn the true power of VR to transform your dealership. The VR misconceptions you have bought into so far and the real truth. The single best way to integrate VR into your dealership without wasting time or money investment, without needing to be a tech wizard, without concerns over its effectiveness as a long-term strategy. But first, let me properly introduce myself. I'm Hannah Hayes. For me, to be with you on this presentation today, 2 of my passions collided. Number 1, cars. Number 2, VR technology. You have a car dealership, so let's talk about cars first. I have always been a car enthusiast. Let's get the common question out of the way. What was your first car? Well, mine was a Senator. Now, you might wonder, like many people, why a small-frame showwoman like myself would choose a large car. It's a little unconventional, isn't it? I don't know why, but I've always liked large cars. Maybe it's the power that comes from them. And this was the largest car I could afford at the time, and I was newlywed and money was tight at the time. Over the years, I did upgrade to more luxurious cars, including a Porsche Cayenne. My first Cayenne was black, leading to my children joking that it was designed for the Italian mafia. So I eventually switched to a bright red Cayenne, which is the car I still drive today. In contrast, my husband doesn't like large cars, but he does love powerful ones. He bought his first Lamborghini from Scotland 14 years ago, and I still remember the challenges he faced during the buying process. If you have ever bought a Lamborghini, you will know that the configuration for these cars was and still is quite a lengthy and laborious process. For our most recent trip to purchase a new Lamborghini, the entire process took a whopping 6 hours. The problem is that the configuration process is done through a large screen on the wall connected to a configurator and laptop, not through samples which allow you to physically experience the configurations. If only they've had a VR device at the time, it would have made the entire process so much easier. Fast forward to today, I frequently accompany my husband Adrian to car shows and shuttle runs. Here are some pictures of us there together. Adrian and I have been having a blast attending car shows and shuttle runs together. During the German shuttle run, we had the exhilarating experience of driving on the Autobahn with no speed limit. It was an absolute thrill. In France, we embarked on another shuttle run where we not only enjoyed the speed, but also indulged in some exquisite gourmet food. However, the most unforgettable journey was with the Lamborghini factory. Our Diablo and numerous other Lambos were shipped to Tuscany, where we got to enjoy breathtaking scenic drives and relish fantastic food in this picturesque region. Being in and around cars, promoters, manufacturers, and dealers made me super aware of the struggles in the car selling industry. It felt like the industry needed a complete shake-up and to be revolutionized. But for the longest time, there wasn't a solution. That was until January 2020, right before the COVID pandemic. That was when I discovered the mesmerizing world of VR films during my visit to the Rotterdam Film Festival. The immersive nature of these films captured my heart, transporting me to different eras and environments. My passion for VR grew so strong that I decided to produce a VR comedy for my MA graduation project. This experience led me to assist various industries in developing their 360 filming projects. However, I soon realized that true immersion required interaction. This realization drove me to explore game engines like Unity and Unreal Engine. After careful consideration, I settled on Unreal Engine as my tool of choice. Then I had an epiphany. This was the revolutionary shift the car selling industry needed. So I teamed up with two exceptional programmers to create the AutoVR method. While one of them boasts 5 years as a VR and game developer, the other possesses 7 years of expertise in game design, focusing on Unreal Engine. They both have successfully engaged with a wide range of clients, taking on roles such as developer, tutor, and project manager across diverse projects. Together, we had one goal: revolutionize the car buying experience and empower dealerships. With the dealerships we have helped so far, they've been able to sell more cars, keep potential customers interested in buying, become the authority in their area or industry, enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty. streamline the car buying process, offer competitive advantages. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can surely go away, do some research, and figure this stuff out. And sure, you could do that. But keep in mind that currently, only the major players in the car industry are using VR. There are a few pioneers like me who are trying to make it more popular among the general public. You'll have to go away and first find out what they're doing, and if you're lucky and get that far, learn how to apply that huge multi-million-dollar strategy and output to your dealership. It's a square peg. Round-hole situation guaranteed to come with costly, time-consuming trial and error. Oh, your easy option is simple. You can watch this presentation and get served on an absolute plate exactly what the benefits of VR are to your dealership and how to integrate it seamlessly into your sales operation to achieve your specific goals. Bottom line, you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to burn through your marketing budget. You don't have to give up control of your dealership. You just have to keep watching. Who is this for? You're ready to revolutionize your approach. You want to become the best go-to dealership. You're willing to invest in future-proofing your business and financial security. You're passionate about cars, your customers, and your staff. Who is this not for? You're happy with the VR-free way you currently have in your dealership. You refuse to innovate and have the mantra, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You're frightened by the idea of technology. You're not willing to invest your time or money in growth. That's crystal clear. Here's what we'll be going through today. Part number 1. The biggest mistake current car dealerships are making. Part number 2. 3 VR tools changing the car dealership landscape. Part number 3. 6 unfair auto VR myths to bust for your dealership's benefit. Part number 1. The biggest mistake current car dealerships are making. Right now, a huge shift is happening in your industry, and it cannot be ignored. If you refuse to embrace and integrate virtual reality into your dealership, you will end up out in the cold. This isn't some fad or fleeting trend, and it will impact dealerships like yours very soon. To highlight the ever-growing industry, in 2019, the global VR market in the automotive industry accounted for $759.3 million. It's forecasted to grow up to $14,727.9 million by 2027 at a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 45.1%. The reason VR is so game-changing is because it's quite literally transforming the way car dealerships sell cars and customers buy them. VR is more engaging and personalized. Instead of walking around a limited number of stationary cars in a set color with a set spec and customers just hoping they get the car they want delivered at the end of it all, your customers get to experience what their car will actually look like. They'll get an idea what it's actually like to drive, and you get to be part of that euphoria or an excitement. More informative, all you've had to rely on to relay information to this point is a ton of different brochures, website pictures, and realms of black and white specification. It's like piecing together the Frankenstein monster for cars. So imagine if you could say, Mr. Smith, you were asking about this? Well, here's this. And through the power of VR, you can answer all Mr. Smith's questions and he could experience it for himself with his own eyes. How much would that help with your selling process? With VR, you are always singing off the same song sheet. More conversion-minded. How many times have you heard the line, "We'll go away and think about it"? With the power of VR, there's nothing left to think about. You can quite literally handle every single objection with the VR tools available. So your customers have no reason to do anything other than sign on the dotted line. They've not just been sold a car. They've been sold on the experience, the excitement, and the engagement. And you can guarantee they'll tell all of their family and friends about it too, which means more easy customers for you. Ultimately, there is a huge shift happening in your industry, and you are at a pinnacle moment where you must decide, will you get left behind or will you be ahead of the game? Part number 2, 3 VR tools changing the car dealership landscape. We have discussed what VR is doing to the industry as a whole. Now, let's get into the specifics of what it actually involves. As we mentioned at the start of the presentation, the big manufacturers are blazing the trail with VR. Tesla advertising its cars by offering customers virtual rides. Ford Motor Company developing a VR training tool for polishing the skills of its technicians. Germany continues to be the leading automotive VR adopter in Europe, with Volkswagen reducing design cost via virtual prototyping. BMW increasing sales thanks to immersive showrooms. Audi enhancing the safety of self-driving car manufacturing by performing testing in virtual reality. Now, let's dive a little deeper into some game-changing aspects of VR that will change the car dealership landscape forever. Tool number 1, virtual test drives. Auto VR solutions allow your customers to take virtual test drives of different models of cars, ranging far further and wider than the ones inside of your showroom. This allows your customers to experience the performance and the features of cars virtually. They can get a feel for the car without leaving your dealership floor. From a business point of view, this does most of the selling for you and removes much of the risk and expense of offering physical test drives. Tool number 2, immersive vehicle configurations. With Auto VR, you can bring your customer's ideal car and spec to life in seconds. You don't need any physical inventory or to wait weeks or months to get the car. And you can pivot and tweak and change the configurations with a few clicks of the button and flick between options, giving your customer much more choice, agency, and freedom over their final decision-making. Tool number 3, virtual showrooms that transcend geographical limitations. Auto VR enables car dealerships like yours to create stunning virtual showrooms that replicate real-life environments. It allows you to showcase multiple cars, interior features, and customization options in one totally immersive experience for your customer. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important do you think virtual showrooms are for enhancing customer experience? Type your number in the chat, please. And for you, you get to save physical space, offer extended business hours, showcase more product ranges, reach a global audience, save costs of physical getting the cars into your dealership. Basically, you get to grow your business like crazy. As you can see, there are so many benefits of Auto VR, and in comparison to what the norm is now for most dealerships, it wipes the floor. Don't you agree? Auto VR is already starting to quietly overtake the industry. But soon, it's something that everyone will be shouting about, from the manufacturers to your competition and your customers. It will become what people expect as they walk into your dealership. So without adopting it, you are actively choosing to fall behind your competition, fail to meet customer expectations, decrease engagement and excitement, drive away sales. It cannot be stressed enough that the stakes are high. You and your dealership are quite literally at a turning point on this presentation. Which way you decide to go will determine how successful you are in months and years to come. Part number 3, 6 unfair Auto VR myths to bust for your dealership's benefit. Now I know at this stage you're likely wondering, this all sounds great, but isn't this going to take away my salespeople's jobs? And it's a fair question, and one that has even shared by many people. So, let's debunk some of the Auto VR myths. Myth number 1, lack of human interaction is damaging to the process. Unlike your Tesco self-service machines, Auto VR is not meant to replace human interactions in the car dealership world, but rather enhance and complement the car buying process. In fact, in many cases, the level of human interaction is actually increased due to the increased availability of sales representatives or customer support staff, virtually or in person. Within your dealership, this can empower you to use your time more economically, greet more customers, satisfy more people, and generate more sales. The ability to interact with friends, family during the virtual car shopping experience. As a car dealer, you know full well that other people's opinions matter when it comes to a customer buying a car. I need to see what my husband thinks. I'm not sure if my daughter will like the color. All of a sudden, they're not only able to get those questions answered, but they are able to include more people in the process and have it feel 100 times more personal. Myth number 2, it's too techy and complicated. Sure, a couple of years ago, Auto VR was reserved for the super elite tech wizards and computer masterminds. But now, because of the breakthroughs we have discussed from the big players in the industry like Audi, BMW, Tesla, and Ford, the platforms have become extremely user-friendly. They require minimal tech experience or expertise and can be seamlessly integrated into most existing systems. All you need to do is push a few buttons and let it work for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about the myth that VR technology is too complicated to integrate? Share your number in the chat, please. Myth number 3, it's cheesy and not tangible. Again, maybe when Auto VR first got released, it was representative of a Nokia 3310. But now, the technology has grown to insane levels of sophistication and intricate detail, including different textures and customizable features. It's iPhone 3000 level. There's also been development to bridge the tangibility gap. Now, we can provide physical samples or interactive elements in physical showrooms that complement the Auto VR experience. Myth number 4. VR isn't reliable enough. Auto VR is now completely sophisticated to handle high-quality visuals, smooth interactions, and realistic simulations without technical glitches or performance issues. It's been tested on the biggest car dealership floors with Audi, BMW, Tesla, and Ford to the highest-paying customers. There should be no concerns that it won't work within your dealership. Myth number 5. My customers will find it too complicated. Newsflash, we are living in a VR and AI world. More and more consumers expect industries to embrace the most cutting-edge technology to enhance their experience. Besides, Auto VR is more user-friendly than ever. If they can use a mobile phone, they can use Auto VR. Customers can easily and quickly adapt to the virtual environment you are creating for them. And you can be with them, teaching them, and building a rapport every step of the way, which will also help you secure more sales. Myth number 6. It's too expensive. Auto VR actually saves costs and time by streamlining your processes and optimizing resources. Think about it. By replacing or supplementing traditional physical showrooms with virtual alternatives, you will reduce costs associated with maintaining large inventories, physical space, and staffing. Plus, the efficient virtual car shopping experiences enabled by Auto VR will save your customers time and eliminate the need for multiple visits to the dealership. This means increased customer satisfaction and decreased staff time investment, freeing up more time for them to serve more customers. So, there we have it. We have covered part number 1, the biggest mistake car dealerships make. Part number 2, empowering car dealerships with immersive experiences. Part number 3, 6 unfair Auto VR myths to bust for your dealership's benefit. It's safe to say it is clear of the benefits of Auto VR: elevated sales performance, enhanced customer engagement, competitive advantage, increased market reach, long-term cost and time savings. Now, you're armed with a whole lot more information, statistics, examples, and context surrounding Auto VR. You can now see how it's possible to future-proof your dealership, transform your showroom experience, and explode your sales. You can't afford to keep using the old way to sell cars when your customers expect more. Being resistant to change, or you will get left behind. Investing time and money into the wrong things when the right things is right in front of you. If you know that, it's possible to becoming the trailblazing Auto VR dealership in your area. If you know that, it's possible to generate effortless sales with much less work and a super enhanced customer experience. I want to help. The car dealership industry is on the cusp of a huge change. With the rate of that change, and if you do not take action, in the next couple of months, you will find yourself outdated, old-fashioned, and old news to customers. Clutching at straws trying to sell cars the old way. Playing expensive, time-consuming catch-up without the right resources or expertise to lean on. If that's something you want, then this opportunity is not for you. But if that's something you categorically do not want to experience in your dealership, then I have something for you. I want to offer you the chance to speak to me one-to-one on a strategy call. You will leave the call knowing how you can personally unlock and embrace the future of selling cars. The most user-friendly drag-and-drop Auto VR technology available. How to save a ton of time and money on integrating the right Auto VR solutions into your dealership. Plus, get your Auto VR and specific to your dealership questions answered. Then, if it feels like a good fit, we can work together to equip your dealership with the skills to implement a cutting-edge virtual reality car shopping experience, explore your sales, and set you apart from your competition. Bottom line, this all starts with you booking a strategy call with me today on this presentation. Then we can look into working together more closely if you are the right fit for me. Doing this today is the most important thing you can do to future-proof your car dealership. You don't have to live in fear of Auto VR. I can help you embrace. Continue to struggle to make consistent sales. Feel constantly stressed and overwhelmed. You do have the choice to revolutionize your car dealership. The ability to provide your customers with the most incredible experience. The chance to grow and scale your success to your dream level, but you have to take it now. The link should be available for you to click. Book your call now and fill out the short application on the next page. If you don't fill it out, your call will be cancelled. I need to ensure the dealership I'm working with are fully committed and in the right mindset and financial situation to work with me going forward. By filling out the form, you show that you are an action taker and we will be happy to work with you. Failure to complete the form may result in the cancellation of our scheduled call. Thank you for your cooperation. There are only a few slots available for these strategy calls. This opportunity will not be around in the next few days, let alone forever. If you are serious about taking your dealership, future-proofing it, and skyrocketing it to the next level, you have to take action now. Thank you for your time today. I really hope we get to talk further on a call together.